The material powering almost every electric car today is about to become optional. BYD sells more electric vehicles than any other company on the planet right now. Their next-generation battery may contain absolutely risen lithium inside it. This is not science fiction or some distant future prediction anymore. Sodium is the element that could completely rewrite the EV industry rules. Here is what nobody talks about in this massive technological shift. Most people get this completely wrong about how batteries actually work. They assume lithium is the only element capable of storing energy efficiently. But sodium sits right below lithium on the periodic table of elements. And sodium is everywhere you look in the natural world around us. Seawater contains more sodium than we could ever possibly use in batteries. Soil contains sodium, and ordinary rock contains sodium too. Lithium, on the other hand, comes from just a handful of specific places. Australia produces a massive portion of the world's lithium supply right now. Chile and Argentina form the famous South American lithium triangle for mining. China controls most of the processing and manufacturing for lithium batteries. This concentration creates enormous vulnerability throughout the entire supply chain. What happens if one country decides to restrict its lithium exports suddenly? What happens if mining operations face environmental protests or regulatory shutdowns? What happens if prices spike and battery costs become completely unpredictable? These are not hypothetical scenarios because they have happened multiple times. Lithium prices went absolutely crazy just a few years ago, surprisingly. Battery makers scrambled to find alternatives when costs shot through the roof. That is why BYD began researching sodium-ion technology years in advance. They knew dependence on a single material was a dangerous long-term strategy. But sodium batteries have their own challenges that engineers must overcome. Energy density remains the biggest hurdle for sodium compared to lithium today. Simply put, energy density means how much power fits into a battery. Lithium packs more energy into less space than sodium currently achieves. That matters tremendously for range in long-distance electric vehicle driving. However, not every EV needs to travel 500 miles on one charge. Most daily commuters drive less than 40 miles every single day. For those drivers, sodium batteries could be absolutely perfect and affordable. The cost difference between sodium and lithium is genuinely dramatic and significant. Lithium carbonate prices have swung wildly between $5,000 and $80,000. Sodium is available at a fraction of that cost, almost everywhere globally. Raw materials for sodium batteries cost roughly 10 times less than lithium. That saving flows directly into the final price you pay for a vehicle. Batteries represent about 30 to 40% of every EV's total cost. So, reducing battery costs creates enormous savings for the average car buyer. BYD has already proven their battery expertise with the highly acclaimed Blade battery. That Blade battery passed nail penetration tests without catching fire at all. Safety became a massive selling point for BYD in global EV markets. Now they are applying that same safety obsession to sodium-ion research. Engineers believe sodium batteries may actually be more thermally stable overall. Thermal runaway is the dangerous chain reaction that causes battery fires. Lithium batteries require complex cooling systems to prevent overheating during use. Sodium chemistry appears to handle high temperatures more gracefully than lithium. That could significantly reduce fire risk and expensive cooling system costs. But the real question everyone asks is about driving range and performance. Will a sodium-powered EV take you from city to city comfortably? Currently, sodium batteries offer slightly lower energy density than lithium equivalents. That means shorter range for the same battery size and weight. But research is progressing rapidly, and improvements arrive every single year. Scientists are developing new cathode materials to boost sodium battery performance. They are designing better electrolytes that allow faster ion movement inside. Each breakthrough increases energy density and brings sodium closer to lithium. For urban driving, sodium batteries are already becoming practical and viable. Many Chinese cities have launched sodium-powered two-wheeler and three-wheeler fleets. These vehicles prove the technology works reliably in real-world conditions. Charging speed is another area where sodium batteries show genuine promise today. Early data suggests sodium batteries can charge quickly without significant degradation. That matters because nobody wants to wait hours at a charging station. Temperature management also improves steadily as research continues around the world. Sodium batteries perform better in cold weather than some lithium chemistries. Extreme cold often cripples lithium battery range and charging performance dramatically. Sodium maintains more consistent output when temperatures drop below freezing point. That makes sodium particularly attractive for colder northern climate regions. Battery lifespan is equally important for consumers making purchasing decisions today. Nobody wants to replace an expensive EV battery after just a few years. Sodium batteries have demonstrated excellent cycle life in laboratory testing conditions. Thousands of charge and discharge cycles are possible without significant capacity loss. That durability means the battery could outlast the vehicle itself, potentially. BYD understands that mainstream consumers prioritize reliability above all else. You cannot sell millions of cars with unproven or unreliable battery technology. That is why BYD is testing sodium batteries extensively before large-scale production. Every battery pack must pass rigorous safety and performance certification standards. Now consider how this technology affects BYD's biggest competitors in the industry. Tesla has dominated the EV conversation for many years in Western markets, but BYD now rivals and sometimes surpasses Tesla in global sales figures. Tesla is investing billions in lithium battery improvements and new cell formats. Their 4680 battery cells represent a major advance in lithium technology. Yet, sodium could disrupt Tesla's entire battery strategy if it succeeds widely. Tesla cannot afford to ignore a technology that dramatically reduces vehicle costs. The price war between automakers is already intense and getting even fiercer. Sodium batteries could give BYD a massive pricing advantage over everyone else. Imagine buying a reliable EV for significantly less than a similar gasoline car. That is exactly what BYD aims to achieve through sodium-ion technology. Consumers in emerging markets would flock to affordable electric vehicles immediately. Developing countries desperately need clean transportation that fits modest budgets. Sodium batteries make this dream financially realistic for millions of families worldwide. CATL is another giant watching this development with careful strategic interest. CATL produces batteries for many global automakers, including Tesla and Volkswagen. They are also researching sodium-ion technology to protect their market position. The competition between BYD and CATL is shaping the entire battery industry. Both companies know that whoever masters sodium first gains enormous market power. This technological race involves billions in research and development investments globally. Governments are also paying close attention to sodium battery developments everywhere. China has included sodium batteries in their national energy development strategies. The European Union is funding sodium battery research through various programs. United States battery initiatives include sodium as an alternative material too. Everyone recognizes that lithium dependence creates strategic vulnerabilities for Western economies. Sodium offers the possibility of localized battery production using domestic resources. That reduces shipping costs and carbon emissions from global supply chains substantially. It also reduces geopolitical risks associated with concentrated critical mineral supplies. BYD's long-term vision extends far beyond just making electric vehicles. They want to become a comprehensive energy company serving multiple markets. Batteries for homes, storing solar energy during the day for night use. Batteries for factories to manage electricity demand and reduce peak costs. Batteries for power grids to balance renewable energy fluctuations from wind. Sodium batteries make these large-scale applications more economically viable today. Home batteries using sodium would be cheaper and easier to manufacture. Energy storage is essential for renewable power adoption worldwide, no matter what. You cannot rely on solar and wind without storing energy effectively. Sodium storage systems could democratize energy independence for ordinary households. BYD sees this massive market and wants to dominate it completely. They are not just an automaker, but an energy technology powerhouse today. The company produces electric buses, trucks, and forklifts using their batteries. They manufacture energy storage systems for commercial and industrial facilities globally. They even produce battery components and raw material processing capabilities internally. Vertical integration gives BYD cost advantages that competitors struggle to match. When you control the entire supply chain, costs drop significantly over time. That is how BYD can afford to experiment with sodium technology extensively. Their research facilities in China employ thousands of battery scientists and engineers. These scientists are working tirelessly to solve sodium's remaining technical challenges. One major challenge is sodium's larger ionic radius compared to lithium ions. The larger sodium ions move more slowly through the battery during operation. This slower movement affects charging speed and overall power delivery characteristics. Researchers are developing new electrode materials to accommodate larger sodium ions. Carbon-based anodes and layered oxide cathodes show promising results so far. These innovations gradually close the performance gap with lithium batteries. Sodium-ion batteries also require different manufacturing processes and equipment, but existing lithium battery factories can be adapted for sodium production. That reduces the capital investment required for large-scale manufacturing transitions. BYD is reportedly planning to dedicate specific facilities to sodium production. This strategy allows them to produce both battery types simultaneously if needed. Flexibility protects BYD from supply chain disruptions or technology changes later. It also allows them to optimize battery chemistry for different applications. High-performance vehicles may still use lithium for maximum range capabilities. Standard vehicles and commercial fleets may switch entirely to sodium batteries. This dual approach provides a balanced portfolio covering all market segments. Consumers will ultimately decide which battery technology succeeds in the marketplace. Price remains the single most powerful driver of consumer purchasing decisions. If sodium EVs cost significantly less, people will accept slightly reduced range. Urban commuters and families rarely need 500 miles of range anyway. The average American drives about 30 miles per day in reality. The average European driver travels even shorter daily distances typically. For these users, sodium batteries offer exceptional value and complete practicality. Second cars in multi-car households could easily be sodium-powered. Delivery fleets operating within cities find sodium batteries perfectly adequate. Ride-share vehicles that return to depots nightly can utilize sodium charging. The use cases for sodium technology are numerous and compelling already. BYD recognizes that not every customer needs premium, long-range capabilities. Affordable entry-level EVs could dramatically expand the total addressable market. Millions of people who cannot afford current EVs would become potential buyers. This market expansion could accelerate EV adoption faster than anything else. Government mandates requiring EV adoption in coming decades depend on affordability. Without cheaper batteries, mass adoption remains frustratingly out of reach globally. Sodium batteries may be the key unlocking truly widespread electric vehicle adoption. Safety concerns will determine how quickly consumers embrace this new technology. Past EV battery fires have damaged public confidence, despite their rarity. BYD's Blade battery already established their commitment to exceptional safety standards. That battery passed extreme nail penetration tests without fire or explosion. Sodium chemistry appears inherently more stable than lithium under thermal stress. The risk of thermal runaway appears lower with sodium-based battery systems. This stability could give sodium vehicles a critical safety advantage. Ultimately, insurance companies might offer lower premiums for vehicles with sodium batteries. Government safety agencies might favor sodium technology in their regulations. These factors could accelerate institutional acceptance of sodium-powered vehicles. BYD plans to launch sodium-powered vehicles in several markets initially. China will likely be the first market for large-scale sodium EVs. European markets with strong environmental policies may follow shortly afterward. South American and African markets could adopt sodium EVs very quickly. These regions have abundant sodium resources and growing renewable energy infrastructure. BYD is positioning itself to supply affordable EVs to these emerging economies. This strategy mirrors Toyota's approach with cheap, reliable cars decades ago. The company that makes EVs affordable for everyone wins the global market. Tesla's premium strategy focuses on higher-margin vehicles and brand prestige. But the mass market represents far larger volume and profitability potential. BYD understands this dynamic better than most Western auto executives. Their product lineup already includes vehicles priced well below competitors worldwide. Sodium batteries would allow BYD to push prices even lower aggressively. Imagine buying a new EV for under $15,000 realistically. That price point would transform transportation access for billions of people. It would accelerate the retirement of polluting gasoline vehicles much faster. It would reduce urban air pollution and carbon emissions substantially worldwide. These environmental benefits align perfectly with BYD's stated corporate mission. They want to cool the planet using electric technology and renewable energy. Sodium batteries support that mission through cheaper and more sustainable production. The sodium mining process is less environmentally destructive than lithium extraction. Lithium mining consumes enormous amounts of water in already arid regions. Sodium is extracted from seawater or saline deposits with much less environmental damage. This sustainability advantage matters to increasingly conscious global consumers. Millions of younger buyers actively consider environmental impact in purchasing decisions. Sodium batteries could become the ethical choice for environmentally responsible consumers. BYD can market this environmental advantage to differentiate from lithium competitors. The storytelling potential around sodium's natural abundance and low impact is powerful. Imagine batteries made from ordinary salt water instead of environmentally destructive mining operations. That narrative resonates with consumers who care about sustainability and impact. BYD may highlight this angle extensively in future marketing campaigns globally. The sodium battery story combines affordability with genuine environmental responsibility beautifully. This combination could make BYD the undisputed leader in sustainable EV technology. The lithium industry will not disappear completely despite sodium's emergence. Premium long-range vehicles will still require lithium's superior energy density. Performance vehicles will likely stick with lithium for maximum power output. Commercial aviation might continue using lithium for its lightweight advantages. But the vast middle market of ordinary transportation is sodium's opportunity. That middle market represents the majority of global vehicle sales overall. BYD is positioning themselves exactly where volume and growth will occur. The company's decision to pursue sodium technology demonstrates strategic foresight and vision. They recognized lithium vulnerabilities years ago and began sodium research then. That long-term thinking separates industry leaders from also-rans consistently. BYD's engineering team reportedly solved many sodium battery challenges already. These breakthroughs moved sodium from laboratory curiosity to production reality faster. The company has filed numerous patents covering sodium battery technologies recently. Patent filings indicate serious commercial intent rather than mere research speculation. Competitors are now scrambling to catch up with BYD's sodium development. Some established automakers are negotiating sodium battery supply agreements already. This proactive approach secures their position in the emerging sodium ecosystem. The next few years will reveal which companies adapt fastest to change.